Alrighty, so today we are going to be talking about how to build Super Saiyan 4 Goku, as well as the other Daima units that dropped yesterday as part of this blossoming Daima celebration that the game has introduced. Now, again, we are going to be going over 6 different characters in this video, not this manga Goku. Maybe we'll come back and look at that when it's time, but right now we are not going to be looking at that character in specific. We are just going to be focusing on, again, Super Saiyan 4 Goku mainly, then Piccolo as the secondary focus, then the free-to-play characters, this being the EZAs right here, and then Glorio as well as Masked Majin, aka Pansy. So that is what we are going to be doing today. And when I'm recording this, it is Halloween, so happy Halloween to those of you who celebrate. So, with that being said, if you are curious as to how to build your Super Saiyan 4 Goku Mini, this is going to be the video for you, and hopefully you can take something of value from it. And if you do, don't forget to leave a like before you go. It greatly helps the channel, and your support during periods like this is always great. So, I appreciate you guys, and let's get into it. So, first off, let's begin with Super Saiyan 4 Goku Mini Daima. Is there enough parentheses here? I do not know. So, what do we need to know about this character? Well, the first thing, this is also like a universal thing that you can apply to just like your own process, if you will. This is something that you can follow. One of the first things that you should be doing is looking at what the super attack is. And in this case here, we are going to be raising attack and defense for 4 turns. So this inherently is going to be stating here that this is not a stacking character, right? This is not a unit who's going to be raising his attack and defense on super every single time. It is going to reset. So right off the bat, that is probably going to give you the impression that additional is not going to be a core element of this character, right? That is sort of the first thing to take away just from this small bit right here. But then the second thing we need to do is obviously look through the passive and see everything that the character is doing. And then this can give us an idea of what we need to be doing. So first and foremost, right, we have the intro buff, and the intro buff is going to be giving us a guaranteed additional super attack. So this is going to be a pretty big deal, right? And then we have guard all attacks for 5 turns. So with this additional here, this with the intro buff is already going to be giving us access to an additional super attack, so we are not going to need as much from the hidden potential system. Does that make sense, right? Like, not as much additional is going to be nice because we're not going to have to emphasize it and potentially lose out on other things that could be of more of a priority to us. So just keep that in mind. Then if we look at the basic effects of the character, what is important here is to look at the wording, right? We have chance of performing a critical hit of 44%, and then damage reduction and dodge of 44%. So this is going to mean that we have baseline crit, baseline dodge, and then damage reduction. So for the hidden potential build, it's this line right here, right? We want evading and critical hit. So if we have a crit chance here, that means we're not really going to need to put much into the hidden potential system, right? And something to keep in mind is this is a tech character. So we are going to be hitting an automatic baseline of 5 crit due to the hidden potential system. If you guys don't know, tech and STR characters get crit, physical and AGL characters get additional, and then int characters get dodge. So with this being a tech character, we're going to have 5 crit baseline and then the 44% right here from the basic effects of the passive. Next, if we look at the active skill or attacking with 12 key, we're going to have support. So this has nothing to do with the hidden potential system. There's no extra dodge here. There's no extra damage reduction, just attack and defense. So this is not going to matter too much about the hidden potential system. Next, if we look at the 4th turn of the fight, we are going to have a guaranteed crit after the 4th turn. So this means that there's really 2 things that we need to be focusing on here when it comes to how we want to do the build, right? The main thing is going to be dodge, because the only thing in here is this 44% chance in the passive. So we have a guaranteed additional up here, and then we have another, no other form of additional attacks in the super attack effect here. So with there only being a 44% chance to dodge, then guard and damage reduction that eventually wears off, this will be a unit that potentially could be susceptible to damage. So what that means for the hidden potential system, in my opinion, is a major focus on defensive traits. So if we're looking at or physical, or like, or like EX skill orbs. We want to go more dodge and defensive based ones. I think that is going to be the best way to build this character and kind of work all around his passive skill as well as his intro buff and all of that fun stuff. His active skill doesn't have really anything to do with his hidden potential system build, so just keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to these specific nodes, what you're going to want to do is go anywhere you can put dodge. I think I would put dodge, and then on the additional and crit ones, I would mainly focus on doing additional attacks. So that would be the first piece of advice that I would give you when it comes to building this Super Saiyan 4 Mini Goku. Now, if you feel differently about how you would build the character, I don't think that's really the end of the world. But again, I would say dodge and defense orbs, those are going to be your best friend here. And then you're going to want to do all dodge nodes in the hidden potential system. And where you cannot put dodge, I would put additional. That is how I would build this character. And then if you can focus on defense with his exclusive skill orbs, I would also do that as well. So that's how I would build Goku for the time being. Let's go ahead and move on to the other units here because we do have a bunch to cover. So next up, the other major marquee unit here, whatever you want to say, is going to be this physical Piccolo Mini. So with this character here, he is not really going to be as much of a damage dealer as he's going to be support. And if we look here at the passive system here, or the passive skill, excuse me, we can take a look and see what we want to do. So we have a high chance to dodge. That's going to be a 50% and then a guaranteed additional right off the bat. So this is good to note that in the passive skill, we get a guaranteed super every single time, right? Then if there's another Dragon Ball Seekers or Demonic Category Power Ally, category ally, excuse me. This is going to be very easy to get as well. We're going to have permanent guard as well as dodge chance. So we're going to be up to 70% chance to dodge, which is very nice. And then as we have this over here, we're going to have a 90% chance to dodge right there. Right. So that's a pretty good effect right here. And then if we take this away after that turn, this is going to go to a different buff, right? We go from 70. So starting from the second turn, as the third attacker, you're going to have a lot of chances to dodge, right? Like, so to me, you're not really going to need to emphasize really too much of anything here, right? I would say probably your best bet is just attack, like just additional and dodge again, or you just go additional and crit, right? I think that would be probably what I want to do, but I just don't see this character being much of a damage dealer. So with this high chance here, we get 50%, then we get 70%, and then all of this stuff right here, like the dodge just continues to go up. So what I would do is give them minimal dodge in the hidden potential system, and then mainly focus on your additional, and then as well, you probably just want to go with defense for how you're going to be building this character's hidden potential system, and things are going to work out pretty well for you. So that's probably what I would do here. Again, this is a support unit that is designed to float, so they're not going to be like a main rotation unit. They're not going to be stacking, but they are going to be very good here with this specific buff. So do keep that in mind. It's going to be very easy to keep this guy's buffs up, so you shouldn't be struggling whatsoever with how to set this character up, and it will work out just fine for you. So physical Piccolo, again, we don't need to look at this character too much to, get the big picture with how we're going to be rocking this character. Again, I would just say mostly additional, try and get that extra attack, or you just go with extra dodge because they're just purely a defensive character anyway. So you really can't go wrong with how you build this character. You can just do a little bit of everything. I think, like unironically, I think a balanced build would probably be the best way to build this unit. So keep that in mind. That is probably how I would build them. But let's move on to the other characters here. So we'll start with Goku Mini, I guess. And this, again, is going to be the free-to-play Easy A. So with this Easy A here, this is very simple in terms of what we're looking at. This is a permanent attack stacker, so a little bit of additional probably doesn't hurt. But if we look right here, we have support, an additional super attack, and then a medium chance of performing a crit, and then we're going to have to build this up to 80% total. So when we look at this right here, this is actually a really good example of you don't need any crit. You're going to want additional, and you're going to want a dodge on this character again, because 80% chance to crit is more than enough. So maybe if you don't trust that enough on one of the nodes, if you want to go instead of one of additional, you want to do 3 crit, you can, or you just make up for that with a skill orb. But I think additional and dodge here is going to be a very good way to go, because again, this is a stacking unit. He greatly raises his attack per turn, so he could potentially be very, very good for you. The problem is he doesn't stack his defense, but again, any form of stacking, you're going to want to put additional supers on the character, so that is probably how I would rock out with this character, but you really can't go wrong with how you want to set them up, and I think that's what's really good about this character. You definitely don't want to focus on crit, though. Like, make sure you're staying away from that. Maybe attack skill orbs as well as additional would be the way that I would focus on building this this physical Goku Mini. That would definitely be my course of action for how we're building this character, because again, we're going to have this 40% support. Then we're going to have extra crit right here, 20%. So a guaranteed crit at some point, or no, excuse me. It's going to be the 20% right here, and then the 50%. So 70%, I did my math wrong, right there, and then extra attack and defense. And this is just for regular attacks, so you're going to want to have additional, because that's not just super attacks. So we're going to have stacks, we're going to have a good crit chance. This is going to be a very good free-to-play unit. Now, if we look at Vegeta here, it's going to be a very similar case as well, going to be a pretty similar character here. So let me make sure this is actually right. That, like, this guy's passive looked a lot smaller. I just want to make sure this is correct. So if we go not easy A, right? Like pre-easy A, then we go to the easy A. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that looks a lot better. I don't know. All right. Yeah, okay. See, that's like, you got to blame the website there. That's not my fault. So we'll just continue to go. We still get this extra crit chance, and then the chance of performing a critical hit, 20%. We have damage reduction right here. And then, yeah, so this character does change a little bit, right? Like, eventually you're going to have that really high things right here. Then this extra crit, the support. Yeah, so nothing really changes about how I would build this character, but if we have Daima right here, we're going to get 50% damage reduction, and then we're going to have 2 additional attacks. Then that's also going to build up our attack and defense, as well as our crit chance. So again, nothing really changes. But again, you potentially could, like, so medium chance to perform a crit, there's 30 right there, and there's 20% right here, and there's 20%. So 70% chance to perform a crit, and this is just going to keep going up because this is infinite right there, and you're going to be looking pretty damn good with this Goku Mini. So keep that in mind. Not too much changes, but there is a little bit of a difference there. So sorry about that. But again, you can blame the website there. But Vegeta, it's going to be a very similar thing, right? But this is going to be a character that's more dodge-based. So we are going to be greatly raising attack and defense, so we're not going to be stacking. And this is a character that's going to be chilling in slot 3. We have damage reduction, we have guard, we have a high chance to dodge. Then we have crit chance as well. So yet again, we are going to want to focus on additional and dodge for this character. Don't have to say too much more about them. Their crit chance is going to be going up. They have guard, they have damage reduction, they have support. So you just need to focus on survivability with this character to allow him to support and stay in the 3rd slot. So I would definitely recommend focusing on dodge. Now, if we go forward to the last 2 characters in today's video, we will do Pansy first, then we'll do Glorio last here. So again, we talked about this the other day in the data download video that I did, but I really like the idea of, again, just mainly additional on this character, because 20% when you have the superclass allies, so 20%, 45%, 70%, 80% chance to dodge. So I would say that additional as well as defense, and then maybe a sprinkle of dodge, like a couple nodes, maybe 1 node. So like 8 dodge is going to be enough on this character, because again, that 80% is going to be good. And we want additionals for the sheer amount of debuffs that this character is going to be able to do to potentially debuffable enemies, right? Lowering attack, greatly raising their defense, have a chance to seal, a chance to stun. You want all of these different effects going on at the same time. So as many, allies that you can get here, if we're running a proper setup with demonic power and all that fun stuff, this team with Daima is going to be working, or this unit with the Daima team is going to be working out perfectly, and you want as many chances to apply those debuffs as possible. So I think that additional is going to be the way to go on this character, with maybe a hint of dodge just in case that baseline passive chance fails you. Maybe the hidden potential system chance can bail you out. So that is definitely what I would focus on with this character, additional for sure. And last but not least, our boy Glorio, who's got the switch on him. You know, this, I really like this art, by the way. I like this art better than the Dokkan Fest. But if we look here, again, so this is a unit who is going to have a lot of things going on, right? So the dodge rate is going to be 10, 25, 40, 50% chance to dodge, 50% damage reduction, as well as all types of support. So what I would really focus on with this character here is, you guessed it, dodge. Right? Just, you want as much defense survivability as possible, and then a little bit of additional as well. Typically, additional and dodge is just the way to go with these characters in this game these days. So just keep that in mind. That is how I would build this unit as well. And and you want to be running them on the Daima setup. So we'll be going over best teams eventually. Got to give it a few days, make sure everything is like the easy A's in and stuff like that. Then we can start focusing on making dedicated videos to things like that. But that is what we are going to have for now. So let me know down below. Do you have the new Super Saiyan 4 Goku Mini? How'd your summons go? All of that fun stuff. And how do you have this character built? And did this video help you and all of that fun stuff? So I appreciate you guys watching this one. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new, so that way you don't miss out on any of my Dokkan content. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate your support, and it's been a fun last week or so. Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku has added a lot of fun, so I appreciate you guys watching this one. If you want to become a member, down below, you can click the link in the description or press the join button, and if you want to join the community Discord, you also can as well, with a link in the description. I want to reach 1,000 members there by the end of the year, and we are closing in on that, so we greatly appreciate you over there. Would love to see you, and thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Shout out to all my members, and I'll see you in the next one.